Hello and welcome. In this lecture, we are going to add a countdown timer. So let's switch to our design view for the form. And we're going to move, if we go to the controls here, and on the components, we're going to drag this timer thing. We're going to drag it to our form. So just double click on it. And you see that it appears there. That's the timer control. So I'll click on it and that's the properties showing timer 1. I'm going to change some of the properties here. The interval here, the value is set to 100. I'm going to change that to 1000. This is because the interval value is in milliseconds. So a value of 1000 causes the tick event to fire every second. All right, so I'm just going, while we've got the form designer selected, I'm going to go back to our form view and double click on the timer. All right, so I'm going to write some code here for the timer. To save time, I've implemented the code for the timer. So the code I've added has been from line 82 to line number 98. So let me just explain the code for the timer again. I've added some comment here, and I've also implemented conditional statement, which is the if and the else statement. So here I'm saying that if the clock basically is a variable I defined earlier. If this variable clock, which has been defined it up here somewhere. Okay, so I defined the variable on line 29. So what I'm saying there is that if the variable clock is greater than 0, then display the new time left by updating the time left label. So the clock variable will equals to the clock variable minus 1. The time label dot text, which is a label, will be equals to the clock variable plus the seconds. If this condition is true, it will execute this code. This in green here, there are comments. So anything with the double slash, it goes green. And when the code execute, it is ignored. So I've just put some comments there just as a guide. All right. So this part is the if statement. So if this condition is true, it will execute this code. If the condition is false, it will execute this code. So I'm saying if this condition is right, do this. If not, that's what the else statement means. So this is what I specified in the else statement. Else, if the user runs out of time, stop the timer, show a message box and fill in the answer. All right, so that's what this code here will do. So this is the timer. The timer.stop here. I've created a function there called timer1.stop. The timer is this one here, the timer 1. Okay, so I've said here timer1.stop. This is a method. The time label.text will display a message saying your time is up. Then I've attached a message box. The message box.show, it will show this. You didn't finish on time, sorry. And it now has the various, it will now populate the whatever answers that were not finished. It will display the answers. Okay, the sum, which is the addition, the subtraction, multiplication, division. All right, and the start button is enabled, which is true. So we've implemented the code for the timer, and we are going to call the timer or to initiate the timer. I'm calling it from this start quiz method here. So I've added it, so it's going to be called from that method. So when the start quiz method runs, it will call the clock method here, which is it. So this is the variable, that's the label, and this is the timeout of start. So the clock will start from there. All right, if the condition in the if statement is true, it will execute this code. If the condition is not right, it will execute this code here. All right, so let's save that and have a look. So I'll click on start. Okay, so let's start our quiz. All our numbers are generated, and you can see the timer is counting down now. I'll just let it count down so you can see the message it displays, just in case the quiz is not completed on time. Nearly there. Okay, so it says you didn't finish. So that's the message we had in the code. And if I click OK, it should display the answers. All right, so it's working. The code is working as designed. So that's it for this lecture. We've implemented the timer. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.